So, Jai Hind, my dear students. So, today we are having the lecture on refrigeration and air conditioning, which is very important topic in fundamentals of mechanical engineering, which is the first year subject. And if you have heard about the refrigeration and air conditioning, because you are experiencing it in your daily life. So, what is the concept and what is the method behind it? We will study in today's lecture. So, starting with the introduction of refrigeration, we must understand the basic definition of refrigeration, which is the process of removing heat from any enclosed space or from a substance and rejecting it elsewhere for the primary purpose of lowering the temperature of the enclosed space or the substance, and then maintaining the temperature below the general temperature of its surroundings. So, what does it mean? Basically, you have heard that the temperature or heat transfer only takes place from hot body to cold body always. So, but there is another new concept here behind the refrigeration, where we have the objective to maintain the lower body temperature. Just consider this is any cold body and this is hot body. So what you experience in general life, the energy or heat transfer takes place from hot body to cold body. So like this, the energy transfer will take place this. But in case of the refrigeration itself, the heat transfer, we have to maintain the lower body temperature, and this is our prime objective. We have to maintain this cold body temperature. So if any heat leakage takes place from cold body, then we have to maintain its the lower body temperature, which must be lower in comparison with its surroundings. So for this purpose, to maintain, we have to transfer some additional work, which is work supply. Because in case when heat transfer takes place from hot body to cold body, then work is done by the system. Then system produces some kind of work. But when we talk about the refrigeration or any heat pump, then we have to supply some kind of work to the system. Further, we will study the complete concept and the basic reverse Carnot cycle on which system depends. So we will study. So is the general and the basic introduction of heat engine, refrigerators and heat pumps. So you can see with the diagram that there is one hot body, this is cold body, and this is the system which is known as heat engine. So heat engine and work is producing by the system, which is known as WE. W is the work supplied by the system. In system is heat engine. So we are in suffix it is E. So now the cold body temperature we represent it by using T1 and hot body is T2. Now the heat transfer is Q1. Q1 is the heat transfer which is going to the cold body, and Q2 which is being supplied to the system or heat engine. So this is heat supplied, you can say, to the system, and this is heat rejected by the system. So now when we talk about heat engine, then we represent a term that is efficiency of the system. Efficiency of the system, which is generally given by the whatever we are achieving in the output of the system and what we are supplying to the system. So in the output of the system, if we talk about, so we are getting the work from the system, which is WE. Now talk about in the input of the system, so we are supplying this heat transfer, which is the natural heat transfer from the hot body to cold body. So here it will be Q2, because it is the system which is being supplied to the, it is the heat which is being supplied to the system. So efficiency will be given as efficiency, it will be equal to WE, the work done by the system upon the heat supplied to the system. Now let's say another example of the refrigerator here, and then we will talk about the heat pump. So in the refrigerator, what happens, our objective is something different. We don't have to get some work from the system, but we have to maintain a temperature which must be lower than the surroundings. So here T1 again is the cold body temperature, T2 is the hot body temperature. So you see this is the refrigerator, and where we are supplying WR. WR is what? This is the work which is being supplied to the refrigerator. So in suffix it is R. Again the Q1 is the heat transfer from cold body, and Q2 is heat supplied to the hot body. Now, in this case, we are maintaining the temperature only. We are not getting any work from the system. So, you can see the efficiency of the system, which is defined by a new term COP. This is what? This is coefficient of performance. So, this is another term coming to the picture, which is given as COP of refrigerator, right? So, now we can define it by the objective. So in this case, in the refrigerator, our objective is to maintain the body temperature. So it will be desired effect. Desired effect upon what we are supplying into the input, that is work. So this is work. Desired effect is what? To maintain the lower body temperature, which is Q1 or T1, you can say. So here we are taking in terms of heat only, so it will be Q1 upon WR. So this is the COP of the refrigerator. So now come to the heat pump. So this is the basic difference between refrigerator and heat pump, which is the objective is certain difference. In case of heat pump, we talk about hot body only. We don't focus on the cold body. So in this case, we have to maintain the hot body temperature, which must be higher than the surrounding. Other concept and other working is similar to the refrigerator. In this similar way, we have to supply some kind of work to the heat pump. Now this is WP, right? So in this WP, the WP is what? Is the work being supplied to the heat pump, right? Again, Q1 is the heat transfer from the cold body, and Q2 is the heat transfer to the hot body. Now we have to maintain the lower body temperature, so desired effect will be different in comparison with the refrigerator here. So we can define it by using this COP. COP of heat pump, it will be equal to, no, desired effect changes here. So we will write here not Q1 but Q2, because we have to maintain the hot body temperature in case of heat pump. So we will write Q2 upon, again the work is WP. So this is the very basic difference between refrigerator and heat pump. Only the changes in the temperature which we are maintaining in comparison with the surrounding of the system. And one thing you should remember, that in case of refrigerator, the surrounding will be this hot body, right? Because we are rejecting heat to the hot body. But in case of heat pump, what we are doing here, our prime objective is to maintain the hot body temperature. So surrounding becomes the cold body, right? So we will take heat from the cold body and we will supply it to the hot body to maintain its temperature. Again, this is the heat engine. So the heat is supplied to the engine, is converted into useful work if Q2 heat supplied to the engine and Q1 is heat rejected from the engine. The net work is done. Work will be the difference between the heat supplied to the system minus heat transfer to the system. So then it will become Q2 minus Q1. And efficiency, or we can also say it COP of heat engine, coefficient of performance of heat engine, then it will be equal to work done upon heat supplied. Then you can say WE upon Q2, and again you will put this here, then Q2 minus Q1 upon Q2. This is the final formula of COP, or efficiency of heat engine. So next is refrigerator. To calculate the working and the COP of the refrigerator, we can define it. The objective of a refrigerator, basic, to maintain the refrigerated space at a low temperature by removing heat from it, discharging this heat to a higher temperature, which is medium or is greater than the temperature of cold body, then which is surrounding, is merely a necessary part of the operation, not the purpose. So we can write the work which is being supplied to the system. It will be Q2 minus Q1. COP, then COP will be desired output upon required input. Then it will be, in case of refrigerator, we take the desired output as cooling effect. That is cooling effect, because we have to maintain lower body temperature. So it will be Q1 upon W required, or you can also write W net, yani what is the net work output which is being supplied to the compressor of the refrigerator. The same way we can write the formula for heat pump, which will be equal to COP of heat pump. It will be equal to desired output upon required input. That will be equal to heating effect. It changes here from cooling effect, that is heating effect, upon work input, that is Q2 upon W net. So now you can also define heat pump to maintain a heated space at a higher temperature. This is accomplished by absorbing heat from a low temperature source such as well water, outside cold air during winters, and supplying it this heat to a warmer medium such as a house. So your objective is to maintain the temperature of a house higher than the surrounding. The main difference between the heat pump and refrigerator is its operating temperatures. The working temperatures of refrigerator are cold body temperature T1 and atmospheric temperature T. This is the ambient temperature, whereas in the case of a heat pump, the working temperatures are atmospheric temperature TA and hot body temperature, that is T2. So this is the basic difference between refrigerator and heat pump. Now we have to find the relation between refrigerator and heat pump. So as we know both the formula of heat pump and refrigerator, you can define COP of heat pump, or we can also say that the energy performance ratio, that is defined by EPR. So you can write it Q2 upon WP, that is Q2 upon Q2 minus Q1. So this is the very basic formula of COP of heat pump. So we have to find the relation between the COP of heat pump with the refrigerator of COP of the refrigerator. So we can adjust this formula by adding one, or there are several other methods you can find definitely. So we can add if plus 1 and minus 1 in the denominator, then you will get the COP of refrigerator plus 1. You will solve it, then you will get COP of refrigerator, it will be equal to plus 1. So we can write COP of heat pump, it will be equal to 1 plus COP of refrigerator. You can also take both of the equations, COP of heat pump, that is Q2 upon Q2 minus Q1, and if you take another equation of refrigerator, then it will be COP of refrigerator, it will be equal Q1 upon Q2 minus Q1. Now you can subtract equation 2 from equation 1, then you will get this formula as well. Okay. The next term that is coming to picture is unit of refrigeration. So unit is what? Unit is basically the measurement of any parameter or any quantity. It can be a physical parameter, like you measure some quantity of mass or length, then you use some units there. As in case of meter, you length or measuring parameter, then you will use meter, kilometer, mm, etc. So these are the measurements for length. But in case of mass, if you talk about, you can take different parameters like kg, pounds. So these are the units in case of mass measurement. But what happens in case of unit of refrigeration? Because unit of refrigeration can be defined as a effect. This is a cooling effect. This is not a physical parameter. Then you can measure by some of the scaling and other instruments. You have to use a different way to measure this effect. This is the heat extraction from any space that is objective is to be cooled. So how we define it? So there's a standard definition of this, the unit of refrigeration. We define it the cooling capacity of a refrigeration system, that is the rate of heat removal from the refrigerated space, is often expressed in terms of turn of refrigeration, that is in short TR. So this is very important, turn of refrigeration. The amount of refrigeration effect produced by the uniform melting of 1 ton of ice from and at 0 degrees Celsius in 24 hours is said to be 1 ton of refrigeration. So which is equivalent to 210 kilojoule per minute or 3.5 kilowatt. So the cooling load of a typical, if we talk about a typical 200 meter square room area, then it is in the 3 ton or 10 kilowatt range. So now the main important term that we have to focus on is 210 kilojoule per minute. This is the heat extraction capacity of 1 TR refrigerator system. So if we say we take 1 ton of ice and which should be at 0 degree Celsius, and we keep it in a place that is to be cooled then for 24 hours, then we will get this amount of heat extraction from that system. Yani this refrigeration effect will be provided to the system. So in the same way, if you have heard about for the general purchase of AC, when you go to the market, then you must have heard that 1 ton refrigeration is there, 2 ton, 1.5 ton. So what is the meaning of that 1 ton and 2 ton? You must be understanding from now. That is the meaning. You can say if we talk about the 2 ton refrigerator system, that means you can multiply 2 ton with the 210 kilojoule per minute, then you will get 420, and this will be the heat extraction capacity of that refrigerator. So according to the requirement of the heat extraction, we use the capacity of the refrigerator. So now this is the basic ideal cycle, that is reversed Carnot cycle. So this is very important cycle on which system or any refrigerator depends on. You must have heard about the Carnot engine. So Carnot engine is what? Carnot engine basically is the ideal engine which must be having efficiency that is equal to 100%. So this is a thermodynamic cycle which was given by the scientist Carnot, and so it is known as Carnot engine. Now when it becomes reversed Carnot engine, that means the processes are being reversed and the direction of the processes are being changed. So we can say reversed Carnot cycle is a totally reversible cycle that consists of 2 reversible isothermal and 2 isentropic processes. It has the maximum thermal efficiency for the given temperature limits, and it serves as a standard against which refrigeration cycle can be compared. It operates in the counterclockwise direction because it is reversed Carnot cycle. So we will take the complete process in reverse direction. A refrigerator or heat pump that operates on the reverse Carnot cycle is called a Carnot refrigerator or a Carnot heat pump. A reverse Carnot cycle using air as the working medium is shown on PV and TS diagram. We will see at point 1, and let P1 V1 the pressure, and these are the parameters we will see with the diagram. So these are the basic and the very fundamental PV and TS diagrams of the reverse Carnot engine. This is the block diagram where we talk about the components of the reversed Carnot cycle. So this is the reversed Carnot cycle where it is having 4 components. Number 1, compressor. Second is condenser. Third is turbine, and last one is evaporator. So these are the basic components of the reversed Carnot cycle. And this is PV diagram, that is between pressure and volume, it is being drawn. Then TS diagram, that is temperature and entropy. We will see first, we will understand the block diagram of the reversed Carnot cycle. So what is happening here? So as we are talking about the reversed Carnot refrigerator, say I am talking about the refrigerator, that our objective is to maintain the cold body temperature, that is here TL. Say lower body temperature is TL. So now we have to extract heat from this cold body, then we will have to transfer it to the surroundings. So in this way we can maintain this cold body temperature. So what is happening? We take some of the refrigerator that is coming from here, refrigerant. Refrigerant is nothing but the fluid that we are using to extract the heat from the cold body. So what will happen is, so here the chilled refrigerant is coming to the evaporator. It will absorb heat from the cold body, and the cooling will be provided to the cold body, and it will absorb heat and it will convert into gas, and it will further go to the compressor. So here the latent is being transferred in the evaporator because the phase transfer takes place. So In this way, it will go again. The gas will, high temperature, high pressure gas will go to the condenser where it will reject heat to the surrounding. Then it will come back to the turbine, yani expansion for the cooling purpose. So here the temperature will be reduced from 0.3 to 0.4. Again, the chilled refrigerant will again go to the evaporator, and this cycle will be repeated. So the very same way, this picture will be given here in the PV diagram. Like there are the 4 processes. 2 are the reversible isothermal and 2 are the reversible adiabatic. So 4 curves are there. Process 1, 2, 3, 4 in reverse direction. The same way in the TS diagram, 4 processes are there. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these are the processes. So this is all about the reverse Carnot cycle. So this is all for today's lecture. So in the next lecture, we will continue with the VCRS system and the objective of the and applications of the VCRS system. That is domestic refrigerator we will talk about, and the domestic air conditioner we will talk about. So thank you for today's lecture. Thank you.